The Arizona Supreme Court has handed an absolute gift to Democrats in that state and probably to Democrats around the country whose only hope is to weaponize abortion in a year where they have absolutely nothing else going for them, nothing at all. They have nothing they can turn to, so they have a gift of abortion. The Arizona High Court upholding a law from 1864 that outlaws abortion almost completely, with a single exception, to save the life of the mother. That's it. Arizona pro-abortion activists have already been crafting a ballot initiative to put abortion rights into the state constitution, and supporters say they already have 500,000 signatures to secure its place on the ballot, which is far more than they need. Now, this law, 160 years old, was put into place during the first territorial government in Arizona, almost 50 years before it became a state. Think about that. However, the impact in 2024 cannot be overstated. As we have seen in places like Michigan and Ohio, one blue state, one red state, it doesn't seem to matter. Abortion will still win the day, and by wide margins, even when those laws go way beyond what people are actually comfortable with. In Michigan and Ohio, abortions are now legal because of ballot initiatives unto the moment of birth, up to the moment of birth and on demand. Think about that. This decision comes just one day after President Donald Trump outlined his position on abortion, that it is a state's decision, not that of the federal government. Here's what he said.
My view is now that we have abortion where everybody wanted it from a legal standpoint, the states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land, in this case, the law of the state. Many states will be different. Many will have a different number of weeks, or some will have more conservative than others, and that's what they will be. At the end of the day, this is all about the will of the people. You must follow your heart or, in many cases, your religion or your faith. Do what's right for your family and do what's right for yourself. Do what's right for your children. Do what's right for our country and vote. So important to vote. At the end of the day, it's all about will of the people. That's where we are right now, and that's what we want, the will of the people.
And that's exactly where the abortion advocates jumped on first, calling out what they say is a radical abortion policy and saying this is what you get when the states decide abortion issues and policies. It's where President Trump has always been, by the way. It's where he was when he ran for president the first time in 2016, when abortion was still protected under Roe v. Wade. Here he is during a debate with Hillary Clinton in 2016. Watch.
Mr. Trump, you're pro-life, but I want to ask you specifically, do you want the court, including the justices that you will name, to overturn Roe v. Wade, which includes, in fact, states a woman's right to abortion?
Well, if that would happen, because I am pro-life and I will be appointing pro-life judges, I would think that that will go back to the individual states.
But I'm asking you specifically, would you like to...
If they overturned it, it'll go back to the states.
But what I'm asking you, sir, is do you want to see the court overturn? You just said you want to see the court protect the Second Amendment. Do you want to see the court overturn Roe v. Wade?
Well, if we put another 2 or perhaps 3 justices on, that's really what's going to be, that will happen. And that'll happen automatically, in my opinion, because I am putting pro-life justices on the court. I will say this, it will go back to the states, and the states will then make a determination.
He was exactly right. 2, maybe 3 justices. It will go back to the states, and the states will make those determinations. President Trump was also spot on when he said just how far the Democrats would be willing to go in pursuit of terminating a child on the way to trying to win elections. He called out just how barbaric Democrats were willing to be. And boy, some days he's just like a prophet. Listen.
If you go with what Hillary is saying, in the 9th month, you can take the baby and rip the baby out of the womb of the mother just prior to the birth of the baby. Now, you can say that that's okay, and Hillary can say that that's okay, but it's not okay with me. Because based on what she's saying and based on where she's going and where she's been, you can take the baby and rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month, on the final day.
On the final day, he was exactly right. And one bit of warning for the pro-abortion forces in Arizona before you get too carried away. Most people find abortion less and less acceptable.